to episode 445 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for February 17th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, it's been a all right week until we got the snow, but at least it's not as bad here. But I know it's probably some worse in other places.
Oh, yeah.
I know it snowed earlier in the week, too. Wasn't bad in our area, but up north, we got it pretty bad. I know in Pennsylvania, at least. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got it pretty bad up there. But yeah, when it's still winter, so I'm still holding out. So I'm still like in this general area where we live at, and the Baltimore County areas around here, or even like DC, I guess you say DMV. It's been all right for us, like as far as winter. It's like it feels like we got more snow than last year, definitely.
Yeah.
But overall, not bad yet. Not bad. It hasn't been bad yet for us. We had some colder days, I believe, this winter than last year. But I mean, overall, it's not. Our winters have been mild, man. So we're lucky where we're at around here so far. So, thank goodness for that. But I mean. But other people got it bad, so yeah, I think it's like because remember the years in Texas where they got those freaking it got freezing down there or something like that. Yeah. I guess it's like a switch up. You say, hey, we got it good. They had to get it bad because they always had it good. They never get cold, and then they just got freezing. Yeah. But anyway, let's just get right into it. On sports, Super Bowl, we got our champions. We got it. The Swifties were happy. We didn't get our proposal, though. At the Super Bowl. But, yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are your Super Bowl champions. They are your new Patriots, people. Just let it. I just said I'll just bend over and take it. I said I'll just take it. It is what it is. We just got new Patriots here. Mahomes is the GOAT. There's them young people saying he's the greatest ever. It's like Darren, Tom Brady just retired, and now we're already saying he's the greatest ever. But man, because of what this man can do, because he's so exciting to watch, and how he can do, like Tom Brady he did differently. Like he was more methodical with his stuff, but it's not as exciting to look at. Yeah. But Mahomes is more exciting to see. So some people, they jump on. And then you got people who are Tom Brady haters who are definitely going to jump on because they're like, yes, I want somebody, he's better than Tom Brady, and blah, blah, blah. And while me, I like Mahomes. See, but Mahomes, I'm sorry. I'm never going to let it go because I was on him. But when he had a chance to go against Tom Brady and beat him, he didn't do it. So that's why Brady people always have that.
Yeah.
They always can say, like, you want to say he's a GOAT? He came against the GOAT when he was over 40, and they lost. And he said, so our guy, no matter what this guy does, he never beat Brady at his worst, probably. I mean, not his worst, but, technically it was. Yeah, because really, Brady wasn't that good. It was really his defense. I mean, it's never fair, but people do it. Like, I always said, I always felt like it was a pretty dumb argument to say somebody beat somebody head to head in football. When it's a quarterback versus a quarterback, and say, the quarterbacks want to be hit the head to head, because I say the quarterbacks never play against each other. They play against each other's defenses. They have no control over what that happens with that. But sports, that's not fun to delve into logic like that. So I'm just gonna go with it then. If you want to go with that logic, fine. All I'm gonna say is that he didn't beat Brady when I really want him to. So that's really kind of has a thorn in me with him. But other than that, I mean, the guy's great. The guy's awesome. The defense was great this year. Like, this is the worst Kansas City team out of all the Kansas City teams that been good in some years. Their defense has been better, though. But the offense has not been great. But the defense is what kept them in the game. They beat what was it, San Francisco, and San Francisco had opportunities, man. San Francisco had so many opportunities. Like, if I was San Francisco defense, I'll be pissed. Almost like the Ravens. But I mean, not in the same situation. Not in the same situation though. Like, Ravens started out pretty bad. It looked like it was going to be like Kansas City just scoring on the Ravens, but the Ravens defense woke up and just shut them down. While San Francisco defense was just shut them down most of the game. Like, majority of the game. It was just that last drive. I mean, and respectably, they were tired. I mean, you've been playing all day, but they have caused them, like, they have caused turnovers to help their offense out. The offense cannot capitalize. I mean, give it up to Kansas City's defense also, but there were some questionable maybe play calls that should have been played, or Purdy wasn't that great. I don't know how you want to see it. It was just like, while I look at the game, I'm just thinking, like, why isn't San Francisco winning by more? Like, they should be winning now. Yeah. Kind of like the Ravens. Like, well, Ravens, I was just mad they weren't running the ball, and that's what I was really screaming at them throughout the game. This game, just like, I'm looking at this game, kind of like the Buffalo game. It's like, y'all should be winning. Like, y'all dominating this team, but they're only down by like either a touchdown or 3 points or whatever at the moment. And it sucked. I know some people are arguing about the overtime saying like, oh, y'all should have let them get the ball first so you can know what to do. I don't think so. I think that was just a bullshit. That's a stupid ass argument that I'm not even going to have. Like, there's good and bad with taking the ball first or taking the ball second.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you always want to try to get a touchdown, no matter regardless. So, but thing is, they couldn't get it. They got a field goal. Thing is, you're not thinking like, oh, they're gonna get a touchdown all the time. It's still hard to get a touchdown. Like, this isn't the time when they had Tyreek Hill, where it's like, they can do 2 plays, they get a touchdown because Tyreek Hill was so fast. They had to work their asses off to get down there. I think they did 11 plays, and they got a touchdown. And I'm like, I don't see that. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's bad that they got a touchdown, but it's not like, oh, you should let them get the touchdown first. Then, like, oh, I definitely have to get a touchdown. Like, you will have 4 downs. Gonna say, like, you're not playing with 3 downs. You're playing with 4 downs because you have to score.
Right.
But I'm like, nah, it doesn't matter, because then if they don't get a touchdown, they tie it, then whoever, you can just get a field goal and win, because now it's sudden death. So that's a benefit. It's like, whatever. Like, that is just, I think it's one of the stupid arguments anybody could have, really, about what to do. It's many arguments to do what they should have did not to even get in overtime when they should have won. Like, they missed an extra point. That's a big deal. The fumble early in the game became a really big deal. And it looked like a big deal. It did happen early, but also it happened early, though. It was enough time for you to capitalize on, like, to make it like that mistake not be a factor, like how the Chiefs did. The Chiefs, I don't know, what they turned 3 or 4 times, and hell, it's apparently it hurt them because they won. So it's like, look, it's whatever. But yeah, good for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, now they could go for what has never happened in the NFL and go for 3 in a row. We've seen 2 in a row a few times, but we never seen 3 in a row in football, and now they have a shot at it. And hey, what did I say at the beginning of the year? I always tell my brother, like, even last year, I think I said, I'm not counting the Chiefs out until they lose. Like, I don't care what the team. And even at this season, I said, I said on this podcast, I'm not falling for this shit until they lose. I mean, I see these teams that should beat them. They have the teams to beat them. Buffalo had the team to beat them. Baltimore and San Francisco. They were running teams. Their defense suck at running. But somehow, like, I don't know what the fuck happens, but y'all stop running the ball when y'all should, or maybe they get a stop. Well, San Francisco, they did stop them at crucial points, while Baltimore just said they didn't want to run the ball. I don't know what the fuck was that about, but yeah, and they win. They're just that team. So yeah, good on them, and good on the Swifties. This was the most watched Super Bowl ever, which I kind of thought would happen just because of the Hotel Swift thing and everything like that. And, so you got that going on. Usher, they say, is like one of the most watched halftime shows ever. Which, I mean, I think is in part of being the most Super Bowl watch. Yeah, you probably get that. But the halftime show was all right. I mean, I enjoyed it. I wasn't really going to watch it, but I was downstairs and I mean, I was thinking about I'll probably just go upstairs and do something because the halftime show. But then I started playing and I said I'll watch it, and then it was all right. Did you watch Super Bowl any?
I watched basically the end of the fourth quarter and then overtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, you were just there. Yeah, you were there for that. You was like you were ready for the Taylor Swift proposal, weren't you? You was ready for it.
I was like, let's do this. I saw him winning, and then it just didn't happen. So.
Yeah. So what other? So I mean, there's been other news in sports. I know there's NBA. As this podcast, it is the All-Star Weekend. I don't care at all for that stuff. I mean, if I was younger, I would care, like when I was younger, but it's not a big deal for me. Yeah. I'm just waiting till the season start to see if my team can finally win 10 games. We are still at 9. We've been at 9 for a while now. But hopefully we get that 10th win, the Wizards. God, man, it's just so bad that this is such a basketball. This area is like a basketball town, the DMV. Yeah. I mean, because you look, if I say that as in like the players that come from here that are in the NBA, college and stuff. Yeah. They come from here. Like you say, like, oh, this guy came from Silver Spring. This guy came from somewhere in Maryland. This guy came from Northern Virginia. This guy came from like the DC area. It's like, and then I say like, darn, they either don't go to colleges or here, and then our NBA team sucks too. So it's like we got all these like people love basketball around here, but their NBA team is not relevant, and it's like that's damn horrible. That's so horrible. And I hope this guy gets all the criticism now. Since Dan Snyder's gone, now it's like, yo, look at this dude. Because the Capitals, yes, they went to playoffs all this time.
Yeah.
But man, they were losing early when they weren't supposed to. They did get one. We got that one. And I'm happy for it. But there's been a lot of years that they had high expectations for that team and they lost. Yeah. And then basketball's bigger. No matter how big how good the Caps can be, basketball is bigger. And this team has done shit for years. Like nothing. Like we get to the second, like the best years when we got to the second round, man. I mean, they were good, and we knew we weren't probably going to win, but just to be relevant, like it's one thing to be like, okay, yeah, we know we're not going to probably win a championship, but we know we're going to the playoffs, and then we can see what happened there. Yeah. But you didn't. Yeah, now it's like, darn, I'm just praying to get in the playoffs, just to be the 10th seed now, just to get in the play-in game, and it's like I shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
Like I want some years like these other teams have. Like they have some years. Like I never thought I would see Memphis be decent. And they had some good years. I never thought I'd see Nuggets be decent. They had some good years. I mean, they won a championship last year. I mean, I never thought I would ever see Milwaukee do anything really. Like these teams I used to see them suck, and I'd be like, they ain't gonna do nothing. Then they got it. Cleveland, I mean, luckily they got LeBron. But they used to suck. I mean, it's a lot of these teams. And there's a lot of these teams that were worse than us. 76ers used to be like the worst team ever. Yeah. But they say trust the process. And hey, the process worked out for them to be relevant at least. Yeah. I mean, they haven't won anything. But they are a team of no. I mean, but they had a team in the past, years ago too. I mean, they had Iverson, and before we were born, they had a lot of players there too. So it's nothing else. And why can't I think of the guy's name? Yeah, it's crazy that Wizards, we can't never have that moment. We can never have that moment, man. Julius Erving. Julius Erving. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I could remember his name. But yeah. So it's so frustrating that I can never see like anything good with the basketball team. But anyway, so any wrestling news happen?
Yeah, it's still focused kind of being on the Cody Roman WrestleMania match and The Rock's involvement in that. The Rock was just on SmackDown last night, officially joined the Bloodline, Dominic. So he came out with his $1 million shirt, old school Versace style silk shirt. So he's fully doing the heel thing. So it should be fun. He had a really good promo. So, but that's kind of the only thing I mentioned. I think last week, the Sasha Banks stuff with AEW, with her potentially coming in, and that's kind of where it's at. Next week is Elimination Chamber, which is going to be in Perth, Australia, which means it's going to come on at like 2 a.m. Don't know if I'll be watching that live, but I would definitely be watching that. And it's a good time.
Okay. Oh, are you going? You're going to that, aren't you?
Yes, of course I'm going to that. Yeah. Traveling around the way. Dominic, I'm not even going to WrestleMania, and that's just in Philly. So
yeah,
definitely not going to Australia.
Okay. All right. What about the Vince McMahon?
It's been pretty quiet on that stuff since all that stuff came out. It's court matter at this point, so I don't know that we're gonna be hearing a lot until the actual like case stuff is happening
at the election.
Yes. Yep. During the election, it's going to be the distraction during the election, Dominic.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess we get into what we've been watching. So I guess we can. Well, we all watched this stuff. It's been some trailers, during the Super Bowl. That requires you to watch them online to see more, because they don't want to spend all the money and have the trailer out there, and plus they want the clicks. But of course, like Deadpool Wolverine,
yep,
was shown, and I watched the trailer, and I mean it was a nice teaser. It's a teaser mostly, but it felt
very teasery
because you haven't really seen, you don't really see Wolverine, Yeah. But I mean it was funny. So I'm curious to see how this movie goes. It's not rated yet, it says. But will it be rated R, Daniel?
I'm going to say yes. And if not, of course, we're going to get some sort of rated R version on digital or whatever. But I feel like they got to do it. They seemingly are committing to this Deadpool thing, the way Deadpool is, and having Wolverine in there too. I feel like you give Ryan Reynolds his leash and let him do what he's going to do with this.
Yeah. And so who is playing Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Somebody know?
Yes.
Who? I'm sorry. Oh, Hugh Jackman is. Oh, so he's coming back.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he said that was his last time.
He did, and then that's why it's been kind of a big deal, because they announced like on some social media thing that he was coming back for it, and so I don't know if there's any sort of like official leaks or anything like that, but the trailer shows Deadpool getting involved with the TVA, and a lot of speculation has been basically that Deadpool's going to be going back and killing all the Fox related Marvel stuff or something similar to that. And even in the trailer, you see like the 20th Century Fox logo, almost like Planet of the Apes style, destroyed in the background. So I wonder if that's what they are in fact doing, breaking the fourth wall and just having Deadpool go back and take out all these, timelines that they don't necessarily want to be associated with anymore.
All right. So, and the other preview, Kingdom of the Apes. And this is the sequel to all the Planet Apes, the new Planet Apes series. I like them. I've seen all 3 of them, and I like each one of them. Did you see all of them?
I still think I've only seen the first one, and I even own the second one, and I just ended up never watching it. I really need to, because I like that first one a lot, and everything I've heard about the other 2, was really positive. I think those movies look really cool, and this one does too. Because watching this trailer, I wonder how we got there Not so much how we got there, but like Caesar's not there anymore, right? So like,
nah, he died in the last one.
That's what I figured.
I believe that's his son, maybe,
okay.
or descendant of him.
Yeah.
You know, the one.
Yeah, because I wonder how long this has been. Because now we're seeing humans basically back to like caveman status, like almost not even being able to talk or think, seemingly, based on what some of these apes are saying.
Caveman can't think.
Yep.
Caveman can't think.
I mean, that's what these monkeys are saying about us, Dominic.
But that looked pretty good. So I was like, oh yeah, here we go. This is nice, and I'm just waiting for when what's his name? What's the Boston guy name who was in the Planet Apes movie?
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mark Wahlberg to come. When does he come in the series? Yeah, at the ending when they're
sometime after they elect their Abraham Link ape or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for when they become like us, and then he comes down. That's what it's going to go down. It's going to travel to the point where they develop civilization like how we have it. Then you're going to see Mark Wahlberg come.
Then Deadpool's going to come in and kill Mark Wahlberg.
Man, and yeah, that's right. Like you were saying, it's like they're part of Disney now.
Yeah, they're part of Disney, so they can eliminate anything they don't want either. Do we just? Right, I mean, real quick on this trailer, like it's basically this one ape seemingly protecting at least this one human woman, and are they going to be developing a relationship here, Dominic?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a relationship just like how it was with the previous movie with the girl.
Oh, okay. See, I guess I don't have the context, so that's what I'm missing.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be nothing more. Yeah, Dan, I wasn't even thinking that, Daniel. So now you got now that's in my mind, and now, goddamn, this is shit. I wasn't even thinking nothing sexual. I was thinking just something monogamous.
We got to get there somehow, Dominic.
Get there somehow. Shut up. Yeah, that's when they start. That's when they start becoming ape people. Yeah. Yep.
See, what you don't understand, Dominic, is that time is a circle. So, like, Planet of the Apes is happening post humans, while also before humans. So, like, you know how everybody talks about how like we evolved from apes. We're seeing the first steps here, Dominic.
All right. Okay, there were other trailers there. I think, I'm not sure. I know I did finally see that Godzilla, the second trailer or something of Godzilla. Or maybe that was the one I seen before. I just forgot it. I didn't see everything. But
I remember we talked about it, but not on the podcast. But last week you had mentioned it, and that's when I watched it.
Was Kong Godzilla Cross Kong or whatever.
Yeah, New Kingdom or something. I feel like it's got Kingdom in there too.
It's I don't know, Poetic Justice, whatever. It's stuff. I have no idea what the hell subtitle is, but it looks crazy. There's a new threat, and it looks like it's not just the other apes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the new threat is.
New Empire, that's what it is.
Yeah, New Empire. Okay. And yeah, they're going to sign a treaty, Godzilla and Kong, so they can work together.
We can only hope, Dominic.
All right. These were the only previews you could think of, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was like the Wicked one that you mentioned before we started recording. You know, I watched.
Oh, yeah, Wicked.
I know the musical, but I don't know like the story of the musical, and that trailer seemed to focus on the story more than the music. So I was like, okay, and I didn't have the sound on, so I don't really know what's going on.
Who's making that movie?
That's a good question. Good movie.
Let's say, is that
Universal?
Okay.
Which makes sense because they have the Wizard of Oz rights, I think, right? So
yeah. And yeah, that's it. So we can talk about Monarch. So we watched the 4th episode of Monarch.
Yeah.
And it was an okay episode. You did see that monster, the new Titan, whatever, and how it is not really going after the people. It's just going after the heat. It's kind of like that's its source or whatever, and it really deals with the past of two of the characters, of like how they met. I don't even know the people's names, Daniel, but
his name is Asian dude. Kintaro, because I always think it's Kintaro, so funny that it's Kintaro, because I always think of Mortal Kombat when and I think her name's May. I think it's May.
Okay, so how they met and how he was some artist, some not starving artists, but he was artists who didn't really do what he wanted. But yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you, Daniel. I put that shit at 5, like something 0.5 speed between the stuff when they were tough, because I didn't care.
Get back to the monsters.
I just think, yeah, I did. I mean, I got enough to know that it's a complicated relationship and stuff with him, his father, and his art and stuff. Blah blah blah. Nice development there. I just didn't care. I just didn't care. And it seemed like something with their sister and why she left. We still don't know. Don't care. Don't care about the reason. I know we're maybe gonna find out. Do not care. I just want to know what the hell happened to the goddamn father. That's what I want to know.
Do you think he's still alive, Dominic?
Yes and no.
I wouldn't entirely be surprised if just like the opening of the next episode, we just immediately see him because he was also captured by Monarch.
It doesn't seem you mean he just got captured, because the way they talk is like they
definitely
don't know.
Doesn't seem like they know where he's at. So I guess guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So he's that monster. You're gonna find out he's that monster. He turns to that monster. But yeah. So yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I just want to see where it goes from here. Okay, now that they're with Monarch, So like what goes from here? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the threat, or what's the new threat?
Now, they were talking like when they go to the DC office or whatever about how there's like a new like radiation spike or something. Was that like the precursor to the thing in Alaska or wherever they were, that monster, or do you think there's another like big monster?
See, that's what I'm thinking. Because if it's just that monster, I mean, it's still a monster, but it's not really going anywhere.
Yeah,
and nobody lives out there. So it's
Dominic.
Like, and nobody lives out there, so it's like, hey, yeah, let them just stay there.
No, we're gonna. I wondered that because they come and pick him up there, so I didn't know if that's what drew them to that or what. But I guess Kintaro did call somebody on the radio.
Yeah, he got radio contact.
I guess if they're in the area, maybe like spectating on that monster already. So.
All right. So let's finally get to some video games then. So how's your time with Foam Stars?
It's been fine. I spent probably about like 45 minutes or so with it, just doing the tutorial stuff. Then I did a versus match online. Our team won. I don't know that it was of any help from me. And then I did some of the single player stuff, which is mostly just, well, not mostly, it's just horde kind of stuff. Waves of enemies coming at you and you're protecting this thing. You can also do that with multiple players, but I just did it with myself to just see how the game felt. I played as two different characters and their guns act differently. The first character was basic, you just press the button, you shoot. The other one was, if you press the trigger, then it shoots a burst of like 3 or 4 shots. And then if you hold down the trigger, it builds up and then you throw like almost like a bomb style thing. And it has a bigger blast radius. The game looks fine. It runs fine. The actual multiplayer of it, like the arena felt very small. And I don't know if that's because like it was very much just like all out. We're all going to be in this one area. Nobody's over here. The mode that I played basically was like, you got to kill all the members of the opposing team and you respawn. But once you've killed all 4 members of their team, one of them becomes like the star player. And then if you kill the star player, you win the game. So like everybody was just all very much congested in the same area, just, lighting off their foam and foam in the arena and stuff. So I don't know how it is in Splatoon. It felt like because you're trying to ink different areas that like it would spread the action out more, right? And it wouldn't just be clumped up in one thing. So
yeah, you wouldn't. Unless the only way is that if you're dominating and you're just at a point where people, you just try to stop them from getting further,
right?
But you weren't purposely, I mean, unless y'all working together or something, you weren't purposely trying to clump together. You were just trying to ink as much as you can. And then if you see a guy out there, you try to shoot him or kill him, or anything. Well, like me, I don't mind dying. I'm just trying to ink as much as I can. If you get
right.
me, that's fine. Hopefully one of my other guys would do it, because I just have a harder time shooting sometimes. And it all depends what weapon I have. But sometimes I try to kill you. Yeah. If I see someone, like, if I got an advantage on him, I will try to kill him.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my goal. My goal was mostly just to ink as much as I can, and then if I see somebody near me, either try to outrun them or shoot them. Now, so foam stars are you trying to foam up the place?
So I don't know if there's maybe another mode where you are trying to foam up the place. I mean, mostly in the mode that I played, you were trying to foam up the place for movability, because just like Splatoon, you can move quicker across your foam.
Yeah.
Versus, the enemy's foam. The enemy's foam slows you down. Your foam speeds you up. You get on a surfboard and you fly across it. Also, like, that's how you eliminate people, because when you're foaming them up, all it really does is like puts them into a big foam ball. To actually kill them, you have to hit them then with your surfboard. And that's also how you like save your players from being balled up and then killed, is by hitting them with your surfboard before an enemy does. It felt fine, but in a lot of ways, like it's hard to shake the, like, this is just Splatoon. This is Square's version of Splatoon. The characters are whatever.
I forget Square did this game.
Yeah. And they're very much like anime tropey, kind of like, here's the pop idol and here's the like geeky inventor person. So it's not blowing any minds there either. But it's a game that I could see giving a little more of a chance to, but I'm definitely not super drawn into it, really.
All right, so I've been playing some more Brotato. I've been playing a lot of that because while I was editing the podcast, I was just playing that around. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, because it has that, it scratches that itch of, like, Vampire Survivor, just get it, that addictive itch of, like, oh, I just want to keep killing, and then I die, and then it's like, okay, I want to try it again. And, man, it's all right. Like, it's all right. It's a fun game. It's a fine game for what it is. Yes, it's nothing, like, I don't think it holds a candle to Vampire Survivor, but it looks like, I'm sure they're gonna probably do update if it's popular enough, or I don't know how it's doing, but I'm sure they probably do updates on it to make more of it. Because I've unlocked a lot of the Brotatoes. I think it was only like 2 left that I need to unlock. But I said there's only 5 stages, I believe. Well, 6 if you count the 0, where they're like you get different enemies like on waves. I never done an endless wave, but there's like 5 different stages of 20 waves. Well, 6, like I said, you count 0. 6 different stages of 20 waves where you have different enemies, and then it gets harder, and it's okay. And then like each time you play, you get different weapons you might choose to be, or different abilities you might choose, And yeah, you get things to make things harder for you or make things easier for you. Like or you like some weapons I saw I'd never seen before that really helped me up, or turrets I might have like upgraded and they're doing their job. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's a fine game, but yeah, I'm kind of near the end of like me playing it. I mean, because I can't really think of anything else quick to play besides Vampire Survivor, just to pick up and play. Like, because that's really I'm at. Like, sometimes I might just get that feeling like, hey, I want to play something, but I don't want to play nothing too long. But I just want something just to pick up and play and just have a blast with. And that's kind of that game right now until I find something else. I also play some more of Mecha Ball because I just wanted to get a feel for that game too. Some more, and yeah, it's not. It's all right, but it's definitely it's not a potato, and it's not that. I'm not really having that much fun with it. Yeah, it's not my kind of game. I mean, the premise is pretty nice that you can turn to a ball, and it has kind of like you can roll up on the side of the wall, like certain walls. Like. To have it, and you can kind of go through the stages that they have, like you go through these warp tubes to get to another part of the stage. You gotta kill enemies in like 3 ways for each place, and then after so many stages, you fight a boss, and then you can pick up weapons and that nature, and then like between each stage, you can pick like what type of, if you want either a new weapon or a new ability or a new stat to make yourself better, perk or whatever to do. It's roguelite, but like you have bosses and you can beat at the end, and then you can basically do it again at harder, or I think it's like difficulty. I don't know, it's difficulties, or you just go again and you do it like with different weapons and things of that nature. But it's not that the controls are not that great, and it gets a little too hectic for me, like where to go, and yeah, it's just the feel of it. It's just not there for me. It's like it looks like it has potential, but it's not fully there. So yeah, I think that's the last I'll be playing of it. I played a lot of it, but yeah, that'll be the last I'll play of it. And I played some more Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm still doing that new playthrough, and my experience has been different going to the point, getting to the point where I was at with my original playthrough. I still haven't gotten there yet, which my original playthrough, I stopped at the gates of Baldur's Gate, which is the city. It's like the largest city on the west coast of Faerun. That's what it is. And that's all in part of the Forgotten Realms of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So that's all like real shit. Like, it's not just video game in a video game. But yes, because since now I got that Githyanki, I think she's called. That kind of looks orcish. She don't always look orcish or like a green monster like.
Is she Shrek like?
No, she's skinny. You've seen her on a cover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's kind of like a goblin like look. But they're not. They're an intelligent race, and they come from a different plane. And they used to be a long time ago enslaved by the Ithrid, the guys that are like the tentacle monster, the mind slayers, who have like, because you got this little bug in your brain, which they're supposed to be able to control you, but for some reason they can't. Like, you kind of use their power against them, and as the story goes on, you see why. But I went with her people and talked to some of her people, and that was like a big thing. And I went a different route to get to the Shadowlands because there was 2 routes to go. And I chose a different one, so I said, like, hey, I chose that one last time. Let me try this one. And yeah, it was a different experience going through that route. And it's cool and I've done different choices that I did for the first game. I mean, that first playthrough I did. And it's really cool how different experience I have. Like, a totally different experience I have. Like, I was like, wow, this is real interesting. And there's still other choices I could have done, that was totally different. So I was like, man, choices in this game, and like I haven't even got to Baldur's Gate. Like I'm still in Act 1, and just how long I've been playing this game, like not counting my first playthrough, just playing the second playthrough. It was like there's so much in here. It's like there's so much to this goddamn game, and it's incredible, and like how much dialogue and stuff they have with this, and also having the guy Avarion, I think, the vampire guy. Now that I have him mostly in party, because I didn't have him in a party the first time only because I was trying to be good, and I was like, it seemed like he didn't like my choices at first. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go send you at the camp then, because I'm tired of you being disapproving me. But now I'm like, I'm gonna keep him with me, because I mean I'm still being good on this playthrough too, but I'm realizing that he doesn't disapprove everything you do, but his dialogue is great. Like now, I like seeing him and how sometimes he talks about the characters, or even talk to people that you meet. Like he is great. Like he is really good. And I was like, yeah, I like him being a party. The way he talks and everything. And the reason why he's a vampire, and like you're thinking like, hey, how is he in the daylight? And I think like, oh, is this a Twilight thing with Dungeons and Dragons? I thought the vampires were like real in Dungeons and Dragons, and they are. They can't come in the daylight. Only reason he can come on daylight is because of that. He has that Mind Slayer bug in his brain too. So that, but because of like we're not being controlled, like something that we have is keeping us from being controlled, by him. But that also gave him the ability to be in a day. So it's like he's almost looking like he wants to think out of his head. But he does like that. Hey, he could be in the day too. He's like he can do these things. But he know that hey, keep this thing in his head, he's going to turn into a tentacle monster. He don't want to be that. So he definitely would rather choose to be a vampire than die a tentacle monster, because he's gonna be a vampire regardless. That's just it. Like you don't turn back. So that it's. Yeah, the game is awesome, man. Like I'm having a great time with it right now. Right now I'm in the Shadowlands. I'm trying to get to basically the first big ending of Act 1. Now I'm kind of near that point of the game, and like also like talking to different people. Like there are people like I could have talked to, but I probably missed them. Now I'm kind of like going through like seeing like what I missed from the first playthrough I played, like areas I can go to, and I'm seeing some things I miss. Oh yeah, they say this guy had something for me, and that nature, and how people react. Because like since I didn't go to a certain area, like there's some people reacting differently to the situation, or that, or some people who I might have saved that I didn't save in the first playthrough, or people I did save and I didn't say, they're not saved. It's just so much to this game that man, I like they really put a lot into this game, man. Like they really put a lot, and good for them. Like they're up there with those with the guys with Witcher.
That very much reminds me of a similar kind of thing.
CD Projekt Red. Yeah, CD Projekt Red. Yeah, Larion. Yeah, they kind of remember. Yeah, they that these guys, these big independent studios.
Hopefully, they don't fuck up their their credibilities quickly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, CD Projekt Red, yeah, it kind of fucked up, but it's back.
Rebounded,
it's kind of they kind of bounced back. I just think they really just show that look, they're not. There's no perfect company. There's nobody who's perfect and great, unless your company is just one person. That's
even then, there's a lot of self-loathing
there. Like there's nothing. Yeah, that's just. I mean, that's not good, and I say it's good or bad, but I'm just saying for you to, if you're holding a certain developer or company or whatever to a high esteem because they've done so great on their games and stuff and things of that nature, and like you put on a pedestal. When you put them on a pedestal, I'm like, I'm not saying you can't appreciate what they've done, but don't put them to like, oh, they're just omnipotent, basically. Like they're just the greatest ever. Like they're just like they're just perfect. Like this is where everybody should be. And it's like, yes, just appreciate what you see there and just take it one step at a time, you know? And like, I can just say, like, hey, you did a good job in this game or something like that. But it's also okay if something goes wrong to criticize them, too. So, yeah, just treat them just fairly, just like just any other company, any other game studio and stuff like that. All right, so that's basically all I played. So I guess we can take a quick break when we get back. We get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So we're flashback into 2014, and we're just going to do covers because there really was no games that came out this week. Mm-hmm. That's of note, I should say. There's really no games of note that came out this week in 2014 or 2004 or even 1994 or whatever. So we're going to take a break from just doing flashback on games and go right to covers, man, because we missed covers last week. So we're doing it this week. So we're going to Game Informer in to Game Informer in 2014, and we have Evolve on the front, man. Look at this nice picture of Evolve.
Of the Kaijus, Dominic.
I was so excited for this game because these were the guys who did Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, and I was waiting for another Left 4 Dead, and then these guys, they did this game, and I was like, okay, I mean, or at least something similar to that vein.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yes. I say, cool. So, hey, this is not zombies, which is fine, because zombies been done to death in the game industry. So, let's do these freaking monsters here, like alien monsters. But then they say, hey, it's 4 versus 1, or something like that, or 5 versus 1. I think it's 4 versus 1 in this one. I'm not sure. But, and like I think it's 5 players.
Yeah,
one is the monster.
It was 4.
Yeah. 4 hunters versus 1 monster. Yeah, there it is right there. So, and now we're at the point we do have 5 versus 1, I think, or even more or so. But anyway, Evolve. It's where you would play as like these hunters, and there would be other even NPCs like. No, not NPCs. There will be like computer monsters there too that were smaller.
Yeah.
That would like help build you up and give you stuff like that would possibly help you to kill the bigger monster, which is played by the player, and vice versa. The player could either use those monsters, or I think you could eat them and get top power for something like that. But yeah, so it was a different concept. So I was like, I wonder how this work. And me playing the I think it was the beta at the time or alpha or whatever, and it was interesting. I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really what I was looking for. Like I just wanted Left 4 Dead, and like it's like and like it just with different creatures. So that's what I was looking for. It's like, hey, yeah, can we just have 4 players in a world where there's these creatures and you just shoot them? Like, do it have to be 4 versus 1 thing going on here? I mean, it was the time I played with it. I had an okay time, but it wasn't something I wanted to keep playing all the time. You know, it's like I played it a couple of times, and I had fun, but I wasn't like I wanted to keep going back to this. And yeah, and unfortunately, it came out. Not a lot of people were into this, man, and it ended up going free to play at one point. It got super cheap. They're free to play, and now I don't know if it's even on anymore.
I think they relatively recently, I feel like they said they were going to basically stop supporting the game. Although maybe I'm confusing that with the Left 4 Dead that came out last year. But yeah, it's not around really anymore, I don't believe.
Yeah, Evolve. I mean, it seemed like it was going to be a big deal though. It seemed pretty because I mean. It's promoted a lot. It was promoted heavily.
Yeah.
Who published this game?
Who published it? It was Well, they've got everybody here except the publisher, ironically enough. Because it was Turtle Rock that made it, and 2K. That's who it was. Yeah.
Okay, it was 2K. Okay, yeah. So 2K had published it. I mean, yeah. So it was getting It got a lot of publicity. Obviously, it was on Game Informer, but I mean, it got like you saw a lot of advertisements, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, Xbox
it was showing off.
Really pushing it heavy, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this was like a next gen, one of the big next gen games, and man, it just didn't pan out, man. This didn't pan out. But this is a good looking cover.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're definitely into Game Informer's like heyday of really good artwork on their covers, especially because they're doing the whole wide, front and back situation now. And yeah, they put out some really good art on Game Informer.
Well, this is 2014, and they actually started.
It was earlier than that.
10 years. Yeah, 10 years for that. Because I remember that, like their first one was that Mickey Mouse one.
Oh yeah.
The one that came on the Wii.
Epic Mickey. Yeah.
Epic Mickey. Yep, Epic Mickey was like the first one that really did that, and yeah, that was cool. Darn, Epic Mickey that's a game I wish they would just do a HD of that one, man.
Yeah,
with good controls.
Yeah. I wonder if you could emulate that with better controls somewhere.
I mean, I think. Well, I did play the emulation of it, and I think it was somewhat. I wouldn't know it was better, but I could play with a controller.
Right. Yeah.
That's about all I can say. I wouldn't necessarily say it was better. I just wish they would just input it, like it actually work and make it so that it would work with a controller, and then put it on the Switch and the new consoles and shit. Man, damn.
Yeah.
All right. So where we at here? We at Xbox Magazine 2014, and they got another big game. That was for these new generation of the Xbox One and just Xbox One actually. The Titanfall
2. No. Titanfall, yeah.
Yeah, Titanfall. They're showing off. This was the big next gen game, man. Even though it's technically on last gen on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But it was the Microsoft being Xbox exclusive, and there was multiplayer only. But it was going to be like, hey man, you getting these Titans, man, you get to just shoot down, be these robots. You could be shooting, you could be running on walls and do all this shit, and it was, yeah, man. It looked pretty cool. Like the only turn down for me was the multiplayer only aspect of it. I was like, darn, it's only multiplayer only. But then when I finally played the demo or the beta or whatever it was, I had a good time with it, and I think, and I'm getting it on 360 really, and I had a fun time with that. I remember my friends got it, and we were playing it. And yeah, I eventually did get it on Xbox One. But yeah, it was a fun game. I mean, Titanfall turned out to be a really fun game. And then they really expanded on that with Titanfall 2 by adding a campaign that surprised everybody that the campaign was that damn good. And then apparently it didn't sell well though, unfortunately, because they wanted to put it out between
Battlefield
two heavy
and Call
hitters.
of Duty.
Yeah, their own goddamn company's other game. The Battlefield.
One of the stupidest decisions, like Jesus.
And now, but we got Apex Legends, Daniel. So there you go. I mean, it's not good for me and you, but
no.
But it's good for somebody. What they got here? Elder Scrolls Online, breaking details on Bethesda's massive RPG. Oh yeah, because Elder Scrolls Online is I don't think it came out yet, or was it coming? I don't forget. Peggle 2. Oh yeah. Hey, Peggle 2. We had a fun time with that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, game of the year right here.
Also good game. Yeah.
About to get a half Wraith hero. They got Plants vs Zombies, gaming's goofiest rivalry levels up in Garden Warfare, which I really enjoyed. So another EA. EA, man, they were coming out strong. Review Tactics. Review-tastic. I'm sorry. The verdict on 23 new Xbox games. What they got here? Big in 2014. 24 kicks off our giant list of 2014's hottest games, which includes Watch Dogs, Destiny, Halo Next. Halo Next? Was that?
I assume they're just saying whatever the next Halo is going to be.
I don't know
if that was ever like a code word for it.
Yeah, was that a code title? A title? What was the name? It was a Halo title that was a name, but then they changed it. It was the but that was on 360. That was what's it called? Recon. It was called Recon, right? And then changed it to ODST.
Yeah.
Halo. It was called Halo Recon.
That's
right,
I think.
Then you have Castlevania, Lords of Shadow 2, Dragon Age 3, Fable Legends, and 38 more picks inside. Yeah, Fable Legends. That's your Fable game.
Yep.
All right. So what we got here? We got Edge Magazine, and they got Alien Isolation on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was huge, man, this Alien game. And it turned out to be pretty all right. I mean, and it get, like, actually as graded reviews that I thought it was going to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it turned out, as far as, like, the gaming community overall liked it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was definitely...
I think they liked it more than the critics did.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, because, I mean, the critics gave it, like 8s and stuff in that range, maybe high 70s kind of
high
thing.
Sevens, yeah, high sevens, just, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's almost that, not like cult classic status, but it's definitely highly revered by fans, especially fans of the Alien franchise.
Exactly. I mean, it was exactly what I thought it was. Like, scary as shit that I did not want to play it.
Yeah. Still got to put you in VR in that, Dominic.
Look, No Man's Sky, the inside story. This is the early No Man's Sky. This is when I was really into the game.
Before we knew the real inside story.
The sci-fi masterpiece finally gets the game it deserves. Valve Steam Box, the PC that's gunning for dominance of the living room.
Which is kind of funny, because here we are now, 10 years later, and they finally have a Steam device that people are proud of, I guess. Using.
Yes, but it's also mobile.
Yep.
Reviews: Gran Turismo 6, The Walking Dead Season 2, Samurai Gun, The Novelist, and Peggle 2. The Novelist. What was that?
I don't know. Was that the name of Alan Wake before Alan Wake?
All right. So that's it for 2014. And now we got Game Informer. And I had this magazine. This is with the Chronicles of Riddick on the front. World exclusive Riddick featuring Vin Diesel, the most amazing Xbox game you have never heard of. And yeah, at the time you didn't. And
then shortly thereafter, you definitely heard of it.
Yeah, it was definitely great. I never beaten it, but I did enjoy it. I just stopped when I got to the part where you went to the underground, where it was real scary with those guys, and they scared the shit out of me. Did you ever beat the game?
No, I never beat the game.
Oh, okay. But you did play it, right?
Yeah. I think my PC didn't run it very well at the time. I didn't have an Xbox, so I
can run around now, Daniel.
Maybe.
Okay, industry secrets: how to get a job in video games, Daniel. Oh,
yes, please tell me how. I should have got this magazine, Dominic. That's why I am where I am now.
First look at Serious Sam for PS2 and GameCube, and here we are. Where we at? World exclusive number 2, Dungeons and Dragons: Forgotten Realms. I think this was a double, or triple cover. Was there another cover?
I didn't notice.
I remember there was a Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe that's another game. Maybe that was another game.
I'm gonna pull it up here.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing anything.
But a spectacular new adventure from the developer behind the Two Towers. Yes, and I think did I get that game? Did I play Forgotten Realms? I don't remember. I know I played something with Dungeons & Dragons. Blood Rain 2, jaw-dropping new screens that will blow your mind. Yes. I don't know if you see your boobies or not, but I'm going to hope.
You do if you buy the magazine, Dominic. Not this one, the other one.
Monster previews, Battle for Middle-earth, Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, man. The first Battlefront, Daniel.
Yeah.
Rally Sport Challenge 2, Robotech Invasion, Gran Turismo 4, Baton Katos, Painkiller, Area 51, Breed, Siren. Area 51, I was really looking forward to that game, and then I finally played it, and it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got Game Pro.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the interview with Macho Man and the Ultimate Warrior, Dominic?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't believe Macho Man was still alive.
I actually thought I saw that, but I didn't really pay attention to what it was. Oh man, yeah, that is something. Yeah, they actually started with him. Crazy, both of them. Yep. And what game were they in?
I don't know, because I don't know that it would have been a WWE game.
I don't think it was that. It must have been maybe Legends of Wrestling game or something that came
maybe something like that. Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to Game Pro, and we got NFL Street on the front, man. And that's Ricky Williams, I believe. And that is Barry Sanders tackling him. I didn't know he played defense, but there you go.
In the streets, Dominic, everybody plays defense.
So, yes, I never played NFL Street, man. I just, for some reason, I thought it was going to be a good game. Or I think maybe I saw a review. It was like an 8, and I was like, that's too low for me. I'm a 9s and 10s man. But anyway, NFL Street, I mean, it was people did like it. It was pretty it was pretty good, yeah. And it's one of those EA Sports big games.
Yeah,
it's when they were still hot with that brand. Yeah. Say football gets funky. Exclusive first review, and they got other games in here. You got Deus Ex, Invisible War. You got Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain. That was the best Siphon Filter game for PS2. Then you got Sonic Heroes, which was probably the best 3D Sonic game at the time. Sword of Mana on Game Boy Advance. Manhunt for PS2. Yeah. Good game for the kids. And Lifeline. Voice control makes some noise. Look at that. You can voice that. Yeah. And look at this up here. They got up here. This should be like bigger, man. Game Boy Advance Killer. Sony's new handheld. There you go.
Nah.
This is when Sony was coming, man. They say, we coming for you, Nintendo.
I feel like I was a little scared. I was like, oh man, this thing's going to be like killer.
Yeah, you're scared. Yep. You're running to your mommy.
As a young Nintendo fanboy who only wanted to buy the Nintendo consoles.
Say, no, don't take my Nintendo away. Don't take my Game Boy away.
Nope, don't kill my Game Boy.
Final Fantasy 12 on the PS2, first preview. And what we like, the Game Boy Editor's Choice Awards. Okay. And it got new tested game codes. Look at that, game codes. Those were the days, Daniel.
Yep.
Those were the days.
Not anymore.
And game cliches, that must die.
Oh, no.
But they never will.
Not boxes. We wouldn't kill boxes? Or is it what's inside the box?
Can't. Yeah, that's things being in the box, Daniel. No. Tired of that. Where we at here, Daniel? Edge 2004. They got the PSX on the front here.
Yeah, sexy
the device only came out Japan, but I was thinking like, oh, this is the next PlayStation. It was basically the early, like, look, it's an all-in-one entertainment box. This is what the Xbox One was going for here.
Yep.
And what you got? Oh, you got here. PSX was the first Sony device to use the cross-media bar.
Yeah, so that the user interface that they basically still use a modified version of today, where it's, left and right and up and down, basically. You select your category left and right, and then you move through it up and down.
And what else does it do? Like, it had, like, it was more of a, like, even though your basic PlayStation 2 was a DVD player, but it was.
I think it also had like DVR capabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, and plus it has more buttons like on a regular DVD player will have, like everything. Like,
I'd be able to skip
PlayStation,
forward.
you would have to use your controller, which is
it's not
really ideal. Yeah. What'd you say?
I said that's poor man's activities, Dom.
Oh yeah, poor man.
You need a remote.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was you didn't even have a wireless. You still had a wired controller. Unless you bought like a third party shit, because Sony didn't have one. So yeah, But when I first saw this thing, I was thinking like, wow, this is the next PlayStation when this is coming out. But then
it's the PlayStation 10, Dominic.
Yeah, yeah. Then you realize like, oh no, it's just a thing that's not coming here, and it's just kind of in between. So I was like, who cares? Whatever. I was mad. I was like, oh, it had a hard drive.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, it's gonna compete with the Xbox.
Nope.
All right, so now we're going back 30 years. We got one magazine here, Sega Visions, the American Sega magazine. And we got Sonic 3 on the front, man, because Sonic 3 had just came out this month, and they were getting ready for it, man. This was huge, man. This was definitely huge for Sega. And look at that, you see Knuckles hiding right there in the bushes. I ain't know
How do you know it's Knuckles? You don't know it's Knuckles.
No.
That's that other one that appeared in Sonic Mania Plus.
Oh, okay. What's his name? The Fox thing, whatever it is. Crystal Fox, I don't know.
Now you're confusing them with Star Fox Adventures.
And look at that, Tails flying. You can actually fly with Tails, man. Yeah. And it looks like, I'm looking at this, and maybe it's a fold-out cover, because you see
that's
how
what it looks like, yeah.
Indent right here. Oh, we got the
get that
special cover there.
That pin-up.
Oh, you got the name of the person here too. They don't care.
No, don't look at that dumb.
You know what, that dress probably is. Well, the dress maybe there, but the person's probably not even there no more.
Leave that man in Naperville.
Maybe it's tore down. It's a parking lot now, whatever this place this person lives.
You're gonna have to edit that out of the YouTube video. You don't want to dox this man, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, NBA Jam first look at that game. Good God, this was a long time ago. Jesus Christ. And Subterranea, levels and maps. I don't know what that is.
That was pre-Terraria, Dominic.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Subterranea. Okay. It looks like a space shooting, almost a multi-directional shooter. Yeah, developed by Danish studio Zenix. Like your little spaceship, and you kind of shoot these monsters around and things of that nature. This was early. Yeah, this was early. What's that game you always get dizzy on? That was early, like the CD days. That was
Descent.
Sega Saturn had it. The Descent.
Is that it?
Descent that's what it's called.
I think so. That's the one that would get me.
Yeah.
dizzy.
Yeah, this is the 2D version of that, basically. This is the 2D version of Descent, because I remember the sounds and think it's cool, but then I start getting all turned around, and I'm like, oh no,
upside down. Next thing you know, like the floor is on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor, and you're just like, oh.
I used to play the shit out of that game, that first level. That first level I played the shit out of, Daniel, because I ain't getting no further. I think I got to the second level once, but that was it. All right, so that's it for the Flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic, we got a couple of stories here. First up, NCAA College Football 2025 is coming out this year, allegedly. They're aiming for a summer launch window. There's going to be a reveal in May. Are you excited?
Somewhat. I mean, I am happy we finally I'm just happy for an announcement. Just to get that out the way instead of speculation and everything. So I can finally see what they're going to do. I hope it turns out to be something that's enjoyable, you know? Mm-hmm. That's something I can just enjoy, that has a lot of features in there that they had in the old college football, where I could just keep. That's what I really want, man. So, yeah, it should be awesome. I hope it's awesome. I said it should be. Well, it should be.
It better be,
because they have enough money to make it.
Yeah.
Awesome. It ain't like this is a poor company here.
Now we got to play every single player individually, Dominic. We don't got money for that.
Nah, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to do that at all.
Do you think they'll get some like big names now that they can do that and say, okay, we're going to sign this guy to contract for this?
I think they are.
Because now you can actually have a college player on the cover, right?
Yeah.
So that should be.
I think it's funny how the last 2 years or so I've been seeing college people in commercials. Mm-hmm. People were actually in college, because one time I was like, "Yo, that's the college quarterback for USC." I was like, He's still in college. I said, oh yeah, that's right. They can do that now.
Do that now. Yeah.
It's just,
yeah. So we got that.
So yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Next up, these are just two kind of rumors floating around right now. First is that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct. The word is that it's supposed to be this month. It sounds like it could have been this past week, except all the stuff with the Xbox popped off, so it may have been delayed due to that. So we may see it next week. It's expected to be a partner direct, though, so it's not necessarily Switch 2 news. But this could be where we first see the games that are coming to other consoles from Microsoft, which we'll talk about it in a little bit. And then there was also a rumor going around, I forget the first outlet that reported it, I think VGC is where I first saw it, that the Nintendo Switch 2 may be delayed to Q1 of 2025. And then I saw a Bloomberg article this morning basically reaffirming that. So here we go again, Dominic. It may be a long year of speculation and rumors around the Nintendo Switch instead of actual launch of Nintendo Switch, which is disappointing.
Like I like speculation rumors, I do, but I just don't like when they go too long.
Yeah,
you know,
they're fun. They're fun for a little while, but that while is usually pretty short. So now we're going on like year 3 of because I'm rolling Switch 2 and Switch Pro speculation all together. So it's been like 3 or 4 years at this point where we're like, next year we're gonna hear all about the new Switch thing.
Well, can it be OLED then? Shit.
Jeez, yeah. Now that you say that, if it's releasing next year, it really needs to be OLED. Everything else is moving in that direction. So, like, please. Because I can't wait for that to launch and then wait for an OLED version to launch. And if I'm not doing that and I get the LCD version, I'm going to be upset with myself. But, yeah. All right. So there's that. And then the biggest news this week, Dominic, we talked about last week, all the speculation that was going on with all the rumors that Xbox might be going third party or never releasing a console again. It seems like all of that was, just hyperbole that got built up because they had this podcast and Phil Spencer basically, said, yes, we're going to be releasing some games on other consoles. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. Right now it's not Starfield. It's not the Indiana Jones game. He didn't roll it out, but, basically he said to keep business happy, you got to keep making money. And in order for us to do that, we're going to need to put some of these games elsewhere. Now, they've announced that it's going to be 4 games that they're releasing on other platforms. They did not give the names, but the speculation points to Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, which makes sense. Those are both games that could potentially even run on the Switch well enough. And Sea of Thieves and Grounded, which are 2 live service games that would make sense to give them the ability to have a larger user base, because the reality is the PlayStation just has a bigger user base.
At least one of those games, because I think the other games, Blink's the Tom Sweeper, will be
that really needs to come to Nintendo. I mean, we eventually we got to get Blink's and Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games. That's how it's got to be, Dominic. News out of this that we both, I think, we're looking forward to. Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass finally. That's going to be on March 28th. So we're finally seeing the fruits of the Activision acquisition.
And they said that's going to be the first game.
Yeah.
And see, I found that odd. I'm like, okay, so what about this other big library you got here?
I need to be playing Tony Hawk 1+2 right now.
Now, I didn't think it would be Diablo 4 being the first game.
Yeah.
I predicted that it'll be a rollout of some games, but like it wouldn't be all at once, of course. But I was just thinking okay, yeah, that's the first game. I said, wow, that's big, but okay, now I'm just wondering When is like the lesser titles? Like just something like that's not really going, that nobody's really buying, but you can just put it out there, you know?
I wonder if they're doing this as like the big kickoff to that, and then they'll put out some of those titles. And then they'll put out something big.
Prototype.
Yeah. Yeah, prototype. Yeah, and then they can put out like Call of Duty to reignite it a little bit again, and then they'll, obviously not this last Call of Duty, but
Call of Duty Big Red. It's going to be the first Call of Duty out there.
Yeah. All right. So they did say that they are dedicated to still making hardware. Game Pass for consoles is still going to be exclusive to Xbox consoles. I wonder how much of that just has to do with like Sony and Nintendo not actually being interested in allowing Microsoft to put that on their consoles, because they would love to have it everywhere, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think they would, yeah.
Yeah, because they're doing this whole push to like every screen is going to be an Xbox, and yeah, like obviously I get why they want to do that. They're moving into this services category instead of, I've said in the past, like even I don't necessarily like the idea of them not being a console maker anymore, because Sony needs direct competition, which even Nintendo is not. But the idea that they would focus in on just having their service everywhere and not needing that hardware makes so much sense to me.
It does. See, like for company, I understand, like for them to go that route. It's just as a consumer, like even if I don't plan on buying, even if I wasn't a guy who don't plan on buying an Xbox or something, but I also don't want to spend money on PC, like I don't want to spend that big money. I do want just the not only that the console is cheaper, but it's just easier. The ease of access of you just play is mainly for playing games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's easier to just go and play games than to install for PC and in that nature. And to do things and to have the certain specs and things of that nature, it's just a lot easier. That I don't want there to only be one console that does that. And like with PlayStation, because I'm like, that means they can take advantage of me because they are the only ones that do it, that have this.
Now the PlayStation 6 is going to cost $700.
Yeah, so that's really reason. Like I want the even I don't like the competition. I want it there.
Yeah,
I want it there. It needs to be there. I mean, just like with people with the NVIDIA cards and stuff, and AMD. I mean, I never cared. I'm not a brand with that stuff. It's like, well, you like what you like, and if you're a NVIDIA guy, fine, or you're an AMD guy, fine, whatever. But you want that other person there, because it ain't there, man. That ain't good for you. Like, you need that level of competition there, man.
Exactly.
Like it has to be there. I mean, like, I don't like Apple. Like, I don't like Apple products or anything. I mean, I like they're nice. I mean, they're like, when I use them, it's like, man, it's cool and nice. But I don't like that I'm forced into their ecosystem in the way that they have it, where it's just not easy for me to get out of it or like to do what I really want. Though them having that, I mean, it does make it so that other people, they try to get up to par, similar to Apple, but not totally there, but be more cost effective. Yeah. So I like that, but I definitely don't want even though I always feel like Apple. I mean, sometimes Apple stuff, it's not even better. It just looks nicer,
Apple tax to it, where it's it's like, hey, Apple's revealing this new feature that's the feature that's been on Android for 6 years, but it's got rounded corners now, so like everybody's excited about it. Nah, I mean, that's the thing.
So I like, but I definitely don't want to be a space where it's just Apple, because oh my God, we would just be all. A lot of us want to have Apple. I mean, a lot of us will just not have phones. We're going back to archaic times because it's like we can't afford this.
Yeah,
it's like I can't do nothing with this. But I like the open spaces like these phones. Like, you want competition, man. You want competition, and that's the only thing. It's like that's why I'm happy that that's not what this news was looking at. I know there's some people who want to speak on it. Like I said, that I think Tom Warren or whatever it is from Verge. Like that basically sly talking of that he didn't say never. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, you know what? I said, whatever. Okay. I say until it happens. Because then at that point, you're just speculating just like anybody else does then. I mean, you just, it's just talk out your own butt then at that point because you don't know. You don't know. But while there are people who said that, not saying it's true or not, but this is what they say that, well, I won't be buying any more Xbox. I'm just going to focus on PlayStation because this news, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not getting enough, and I don't know what the future is for this company because they're not really giving me assurances because of what happened. And you know what? That's fair. I mean, that's on your point. I mean, that's assuming that's fair. That's fair. And like, I'm not going to argue with you over that. If we just stick around and buy this, just even though they say they're not bringing those games over. If you don't trust it, you don't trust it. I can't convince you to trust them. Like, I mean, whatever. I mean, that's your fair point, you know. Yeah. If you don't, but me, it's just that I had to look at it. I look at it this way: like, who was I getting information from? I got information from a bunch of people online, and I mean, these are people who are supposedly like they heard rumors or somewhere, and it got started. Like, somebody had some information, and the rumors kind of spread. I don't know how those rumors started though. So, and then I'm just going by what these guys say. So that's all I can do. Cause I have no, cause the stuff I heard from I can't say like, oh, this is a good source. Even though the source tells me they got it from a good source. I don't know. I don't really know you guys. And then these guys, and then the official people saying something that's slightly different from what it was. They are giving 4 games. But they're 4 games what I'm okay with. Like, I'm okay with them bringing these games over. Because at the end of the day, these ain't moving consoles.
No.
These games.
And I think it's special for those games to get bigger audiences. I mean, especially obviously from a mechanics standpoint, Sea of Thieves and Grounded, it's important for them to have more players. But like Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush are special and also very kind of niche, and giving them exposure to a larger audience, I think, is only positive for those games.
Yeah, and they're not console movers. They're not something that, I mean, they're the added library to it. But Pentiment, I mean, it's an older game. You know, it's older. It's 2 years old now. It's I think it's okay if that game is one of the games that goes to another console. Hi-Fi Rush, I'm okay with that too. I mean, I don't feel as much losing anything there. It's not that big a deal. Now,
and as a Game Pass subscriber, you're still getting them for free with your subscription, as opposed to having to outright buy them.
Yeah, see, and that's the difference. That's one other difference. And there are some people who feel like they even these multiplayer like games that they don't think they should leave or something. And I'm like, okay, but then fine. I mean, I can't say anything to that. For me, it's not a big deal. Yeah. It's not big. It would be a big deal if they were saying, basically, like Starfield and them are going to another country. Then that's something different. That's a different. Because it's like, those are supposed to be console movers. Mm-hmm. Those are the big ones. Those are the ones you put a whole lot of money in.
Yeah.
So that is a game changer. But nah, this isn't it. So it's fine. Yes, it was overblown. Yeah, it was overblown. I mean, but the internet does that when you don't.
Yeah.
You can easily do that on the internet and things of that nature. And somebody did talk though. I want to know who talked. I want to know how the rumor started. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Was it like an employee talking to somebody or something?
One of the 10,000 people that Microsoft fired.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
So. Yeah, exactly. And like, cause like, and it's not even that they were lying. They probably didn't have the whole story either. you know, they just heard something about like, hey, there's some games that are going to these other consoles. We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, shucks.
I wonder if it even more so like came from, you know, because there's speculation that two of these titles at least are part of the Nintendo thing. I wonder if it's somebody from that side of things, you know, leaked it out.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
true too.
You know, it just got out of control, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're supposed to be partnering with them, and now we're destroying their business."
Then we get a Half-Hour Rush or something, or Sea of Thieves or something like that, Pentiment, and then all of a sudden people saying like, they get Starfield and Indie. They getting all the first party games. Everybody's getting first party games.
No, Gears of War, because that was a big one that people were saying. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where that was. They also mentioned that there's going to be, you know, something to talk about hardware wise this holiday season. I wonder if that is
what that is. Yeah,
diskless versions that we saw as part of that leaked documentation that Microsoft put on the FTC website.
Nah, it's gonna be like what the PSX was. That we said
going back to the
Xbox
all-in-one
Series
universe.
X1.
Yeah,
the Xbox Series X1.
Throw a Kinect in that box and I'm sold, Dominic.
Yeah.
And then they did say that they are working on next generation hardware as well, and said that is going to be the largest leap in technology ever. So like, okay, sure.
Yeah. It is, Daniel. It's going to be just something you put in your brain. It's a little chip.
Oh man.
But
the Apple head.
But no, that new hardware is going to be like it's going to be like a special edition classic Xbox. That's with the power of the Series X. It's gonna look like a regular Xbox, but it's gonna be the power of the Series X.
Sleeper. You know, they should, now that The Rock is back doing wrestling stuff and just willing to do anything, apparently, they should bring him back, put him on stage with Bill Gates, and reveal this new Xbox that way.
It was the Xbox Series X Slim.
Ooh, there you go.
It's just a cube, like a little tiny cube, Daniel.
Yep. They cut it in half vertically. Yeah. So we shall see. We're going to see new Xbox hardware before we see new Nintendo hardware, Dominic. That's disappointing to me.
That's very disappointing. I mean, it's disappointing that we're going to probably see a PS5 plus before Nintendo hardware.
That is really
I mean, because the Switch has been out for longer.
Yep. That is really incredible. I mean, I guess we have to blame like the COVID stuff, right? Is like why we never got a Switch Pro, because
damn you, COVID! I'm raising my fist, Daniel.
This is the worst thing that you've done to the world. Yes, taking the Switch Pro away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as it turns out, all of this stuff was kind of overblown. I do expect to see more Xbox games appear on other consoles, but I think that's just the reality of it now, especially with their purchase of Activision. They're just going to be spending a lot of money to make games, and if your platform is not the biggest, platform, then it might be time to create that outreach. Now, I wonder what Xbox could do to jump in there and win this next, because they came off of the PS2. They obviously lost, but like Jesus, the 360 was, on fire. Even whilst literally being on fire, they absolutely dominated that generation. And, it seems like maybe Sony's getting a little lax again. So it's very possible. I just wonder what it takes to make that happen.
It takes the other. It seems like the only way to take over is the other ones to fuck up.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Because that's how. That's how PlayStation. Yeah. I mean, not only did it come out a year later, but it came out a year later at a heftier price.
Yeah.
And then the Xbox just said, yeah, we're really going to fumble this shit. Xbox
Connect in every box.
And then we're going to be higher than them.
Yep. They literally learned no lessons from the PlayStation 3 whatsoever.
I think it's I just want to know what's, like, I want to be in these boards. Cause I swear to God, I swear it's just,
it's collusion.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's funny because when you were talking about competition, like I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, it's always competition until like Apple raises their price on their phone, and then instead of like trying to undercut them, Samsung's like, also our phone is $10,000 now. Why not?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the argument with Samsung was early on used to be like, yo, it's really cool and it's cheaper, but now it's like, man. You're just another expensive fucking phone, man. So I'm going to stick with my. Well, I got Google Pixel now, but
which even those started at like bottom basement prices, and then
they were that's gone.
Yeah. So it's like all of this is like coordinated, Dominic. It feels like we're all just going to keep the consumer down. That's what we've decided upon.
I was going to get those phones. I get those old people I see on those infomercials.
Get you a jitterbug. Here's the 5 phones. Numbers that I have pre-programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Dominic, that is the news for the week. You got anything either on those topics or anything else that you saw worth talking about?
Nah, I think I'm good, man.
All right. We'll get into some new releases here, Dominic. First up is Arzette. I watched the trailer for this earlier, and they pronounced it The Jewel of Faramore. This is out now on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. This game, Dominic, harkens back to the CDI Zeldas. It is a 2D side-scroller with very poorly, on purpose, animated cartoon cutscenes, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting. I don't know how it's reviewed, but I've definitely seen some talk around it that it's kind of an interesting thing.
Zelda. I mean, it was
the best of the series.
It was fairly, one of the best. So
absolutely,
it's got a lot to live up to. There's a lot to live up to.
All right, next up we got Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. That's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. It sounds like that's a decent enough remaster, but honestly, in a lot of ways, and I had seen Anniversary and Legends, and there's another one in that series of games that were on sale for like 97 cents. And I was like, all right, let me go buy these on Steam. As it turns out, I already owned them. And I thought at one point I did. And then I felt like the last time I looked to try and download them, I didn't have them in my library. But yeah, those games, like, I'm not even sure I need like this remaster. I would really love to see up-resed versions of those games, because outside of
I feel you. Yeah.
The modern ones, like those are the best in the series, you know.
Yeah,
and they're kind of a different thing than the modern ones too, because the modern ones
what was the one that came out on the PS2, like where
Dark Angel?
Yeah, they did do a Dark Angel one.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, if you actually made if you did like a Resident Evil style remake of Dark Angel, like, I give that a try. Like, I could find that interesting. I'm sure, you know, it would take a lot of work to make that into a good game, but like, I'm not against the premise of, you know, Lara Croft with eyeliner on. So, you know, goth Lara Croft. Lara Croft. Sorry. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Played Up. This is a restaurant management style thing.
Yes, I saw this. Isn't it on Xbox Game Pass? I
believe it is. I think that's actually why I ended up putting it on here, because it is on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, it is on Game Pass.
Because it looks like a Diner Dash or not quite an Overcooked type situation, but, you know, something kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Speaking of games that are on Game Pass, A Little to the Left, which is a cool kind of chill game where you're just like rearranging things. So that's neat that that's on there now. All right, we also have Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2. That's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS5. You were telling me that this is like a visual novel, horror, murder, mystery looking kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, so you already had this up here?
Yeah, it was part of the list.
Oh, I didn't realize that
when you said it, but it was part of the list that I was pulling stuff from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize you had it on the list. Oh, so yeah, it is. So it's might be something I might check it out. I might check this out. At least the first one anyway, just to see how this is, because I'm kind of in. I kind of like the visual novel stuff, man. Mystery stuff. I really like it.
All right, we have next up The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4, out now on the PS5.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing with this is that I guess you hope to get new audiences to the series. I just don't know if you even are like a fan of the series. Why would you buy this again for the PS5? Like, how much better? I don't know how much better this game can look.
Yeah, it could look the best.
I mean, I really don't. Like, that's the only thing, is that you are new to the series and get this, and then I mean, you don't have 1 and 2. You can jump. I mean, you can start with 3. I mean, like I said, like, because they do the way it starts. I mean, yes, there's a pass with these things, but then there's always a pass when you start off a story, really, right? So, and they seem to do a good job of explaining what these people are, because you are now you're well, it's only been like a year later from 2, but you graduated. You're a teacher yourself at the school with students, so it is kind of a start of a new beginning in a way. If you start with 3, because those students are new characters you've never seen before, except for one of them. So that's I guess if you just want to start, if you want to start fresh, 3 probably is it. But if you can get your hands on 1 and 2, go ahead. Like, you can start with Cold Steel, and don't listen to people, because one guy said, "Man, I want to start the Cold Steel series," but people keep telling me I need to play all of them, like from Trails in the Ncaa. And I said, that's some gatekeeping ass shit, because if you're gonna tell somebody that, then guess what? This series is done. Cause ain't no way in hell, no way gonna go back and they don't. First of all, that game is on PC, only on PC, or unless you got a PSP, and then I think it's only in Japanese. But yeah, I'm like, get the hell out of here! Don't listen to nobody who ever says some shit like that. Like, goddamn, I said, like, that's somebody who just don't want the series to go on no more. It's saying some dumb shit like that. It said, tell somebody they gotta play all of them. He said, on the first one. It's like, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Nah. And if they make it that where it has to be like that, man, then that's, I don't know how you survive. Yeah. Like a series survive with that.
Just let me catch up in a YouTube video, Dominic. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what else we got here, Dan?
Next up, we got Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Nintendo Switch. I'm looking to see how that's scoring right now, because I didn't see any scores yet.
Some 8s?
That's maybe better than I was. I don't know if it was better than I was expecting, but if on like a 70s or 100 scale, or like a Game Informer where there's 0.5s and in-betweens, I wouldn't be surprised if it was high.
Got rated back in the first Donkey Kong game. Yeah. Donkey Kong Mario game. What'd that get rated?
I feel like it was. Well, actually, I think that's what I'm. See, this is why is it showing me the game
back in like the late 70s and 80s. Then.
Oh, you're talking about the original?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The jump. Sorry, that's Jumpman versus Donkey Kong, Dominic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Metacritic showing for this Switch version 77, which that's pretty much exactly where I would expect it to be. Destructoid with a 75, but they're the only.
Why can't it be better than that? What do they have to do to be better than that?
More Funky Kong, I think, Dominic. More Funky Kong.
Is Funky Kong in the game?
I don't know. Maybe you unlock him. Eurogamer gave it an 80. I don't think I saw a Game Informer review of it yet, but
yeah, they do have one.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, the demo I think I mentioned last week is on the Switch, so I think I downloaded it. I haven't tried it yet though. But I remember thinking that game was pretty all right back in the day when playing it on the Game Boy. So, and then Dominic, I actually, now that I'm saying this, I think we forgot to mention a game earlier. Skull and Bones.
I forgot to mention. Yeah, I forgot to mention that I did play the beta.
Such an impression on you.
The open beta. I didn't realize how close the open beta was to.
I didn't either. I was surprised. I don't know how
that is much of a beta. I think it's just more, or unless you're buying a beta. I don't know. But
it might be that too.
So yeah, I did play Skull and Bones, the open beta. You start off with you start off with the big ship battle because it's trying to really show you the ships, how to battle with the ships, which is very similar to what the Assassin's Creed did, a simplified version of that. I mean, a simplified version of you doing ship battles, But then your ship blows up, and then you kind of starting from scratch. You only have like 2 people in your crew on your little boat there that you swim, and then you sail to this place to try to basically grow your fleet again and things, and get to someplace where it's basically pirate paradise.
Yeah.
Where you can build your ship and crew. So, like with the small ship, I was going around. It is like a big open world, and there are people like those MMORPGs things where there's a lot of people around, and it looked like they were attacking. To me, they weren't certainly able to attack me. I don't know, but at that point, someone was throwing arrows at me, and it's showing red come on across my screen like I was getting hurt.
Right.
So I was like, what's going on? And then they eventually stopped, but I started throwing at them too. But I know there's some sharks that were attacking me. I thought that was pretty fun, killing them, throwing spears at them, because that's all you have. You push around no cannons on that little ship, little boat. But you just do these little fetch quests at first. They do have spoken dialogue that you can get off. You can get off your boat, but the only reason to get off the boat is like you going to buy stuff and like for your ship, basically. So then I got to the point where I did get to that pirate paradise, and then I'm trying to build my bigger ship, and I had to go collect like certain materials, resources. But I went to one resource, but it looked like the tree was already cut down. I saw people over there, and I think they were trying to do the same thing, but I didn't realize till I was over there for a while, because I recorded it. I was over there for a while trying to figure out how to get this type of wood, and then I realized, oh, they must have already cut it down. I have to leave. I'm like, oh, I can't just respawn right away. I have to go somewhere, sell somewhere else. Yeah, so I had to go sell somewhere else, and I got it. And then I sailed back. I finally got my ship built, a bigger ship with some cannons and stuff, and I went and sailed. And I think people can't really hurt you unless you decide to go PvP. But I think they can steal your stuff, because I blew up a ship and the guy went over my wreckage, and when I went over there to pick up like my loot, it was nothing there, man. So I started chasing him. I started chasing the guy, but he, I guess he knew I couldn't hurt him. I didn't realize I couldn't hurt him until I read online. But yeah, it is somewhat like the Assassin's Creed and the part of the ship battle stuff, but that's really where. That's it. Like, you don't really walk. I don't think you walk amongst your ship or nothing. You can change the camera angles. You gotta watch the sails, like when the wind blows or how well, so you can catch that wind to move your ship and things of that nature. The game doesn't. My computer can't run the game at its finest. Though I was having some problems, so I can't really say was it because of the game or me, because people were saying they're having trouble too, like some lag or something, like not while playing. We usually do the cutscene and stuff. Like people were saying that, and I was too, but I didn't know that was because of my computer or not. So that's why I can't really say. Yeah. So you might see that in the video. But when I was looking to see how many VRAM it was taking, like when you try to mess with the graphics, yeah, I'm pretty much there at low, almost at the end there for me, because I was trying to go a little bit higher, and it was like, oh, this is over, and I was like, oh, let me just keep it low then. So, I mean, the game still looked okay though. It still looked okay. It still, when I was playing it, it still ran all right for me. But it's just that it's an open-ended pirate game. There is no campaign. You do have like some mission stuff you can do to help build your ship bigger, and then you go after these other ships, I guess, that are harder and stuff, and you want to get some better loot. But it's not what I want. It's not what I want. But I can see people having fun with it. But just like I see all the games on Twitch that people play that I think I would possibly call shit. But they seem to be playing these games, and this game I wouldn't call it shit. I wouldn't call Skull and Bones shit. Yeah. Like far from that. I wouldn't call it great either, but I can see people enjoying their time with this game. It's just not what I want. Like, I want something with a campaign. I want to have the option of being in the world with other people and just being in the world with myself. It's not the game I want. I know some people were saying that, like, I think it was a review, how someone said, I think it was a review in progress on Game Informer where they said, review in progress, but it's not as bad as you think. Mm-hmm. And then I think someone said, wow, you're being really, really lenient on this game compared to Suicide Squad. He said, like, why? What is it about this game that makes it, like, okay that Suicide Squad wasn't? And that would be a good question for me, too, because I didn't play Suicide Squad, though. Yeah. I played this game, and I will be honest with you, I felt like I would like Suicide Squad more than this.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
So if you were hard, I want to know if you not as hard as this game. I'm not saying that he's a review in progress, but I'm just saying it's not as bad as you think. Like, how bad do you think? Like, what does that mean then? Because you was really, like, Suicide Squad was really bad, and I'm thinking like, well, Suicide Squad was really bad, but it's better than this game. If you don't think this is that bad, then I don't know what the hell. You gotta tell me why. Yeah, I was like, at that point, you gotta tell me why.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm curious how this game does for Ubisoft. Like, it's been a game that's been in development for like 10 years. So it's been a while on this. Just when we first heard about this, we were a little excited because we were like, hey. They heard our voices about how we like the pirate stuff in Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. But they also said, but we want to make more money. I was like, but they went a route that, not the microtransaction route, which not a big fan of, but hey, people play these games.
Yeah.
So I can't get mad, but it's just not it's just not a game I want to stick with, that I would care to do the microtransaction stuff. For me, it's just nothing. It's not something there. It's not enough there for me.
Yeah,
a game like this.
Yeah, there's microtransaction-y stuff in Foam Stars too. Like, you instantly go in there and pay like $40 for some kind of bundle of skins and stuff, and I'm like, no, thank you.
All right, so that's all I got, man.
All right, Dominic, then we will wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, like YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, any of those places. And we just released our Game of the Year for 2023 video, and that is very good, so you should go check that out. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.